Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about a thing which you stumble over if you are going to be a DM. In Roll20 you're creating a game, be it that you create an empty game or a game with a purchased module, and you want to have a special setting for your tokens. I want to show what I mean. Therefore I'm creating a new game. So token setup maybe, and I have to choose a character sheet. This is the default one for D&D 5th edition. And now I could add, for instance, here Out of the Abyss or whatsoever as a module. Then you would have the whole game Out of the Abyss with all maps and thousands of tokens and hundreds of character sheets in it. But what I want to talk about is independent of this, so I'm just creating a new game without anything. So now we have the new game. We go into the game. And of course, as you can see, you have just the default empty map, which every game has, and you have no tokens, character sheets whatsoever. So now let's add some things. For instance, you want to have some orcs in your game. I'm adding the orc from the compendium, because I have the monster manual purchased. Then you have here the character sheet of the orc, and the first token of the orc appeared here. You can add several of them. And maybe you want to have also some goblins. Same thing here. Just with more goblins because they have pack tactics and they would appear in greater numbers. So, and if you like what you see here, you can skip this video because this is the default setting for all games. Be it you purchased some modules or you're creating your game from scratch, like I do here now, then everything is fine. But I don't like it, and I will tell you why I don't like it. First thing which pops into mind or into your eye is the health bars are above the tokens, and they are very thick with the text overlay showing the hit points. And if you have many tokens in your game close to another, you have the situation that one token here might overlap with the health bar. You can't see the health bar, or the health bar covers a portion of the token image above. And I don't like this, really. And another thing which you can't see here is because we are now the GM, but if you join this game as a player, you wouldn't see any health bars at all, because the default setting for the health bars visibility, if you go here, this is the health bar. You can see here the player permissions are set to don't see. So the players don't see it. I would say if you have a battle with maybe these goblins and orcs and you have players added to them, the players would have the situation there is a goblin severely wounded, one just grazed maybe, lost one hit point, whatsoever. Maybe this one has taken medium damage. So, but they don't see the health bars. But they would in reality, of course, know this is severely wounded, it's bleeding, it's staggering. This is just grazed, it's just a small slice in the arm, I don't know. Uh, and the players can't see it, and therefore they would always ask, is this the one I hit? Oh no, it was this, is it hit very hard, and so on. And you always have to answer these questions, and it's completely senseless, completely nonsense, I think. The players should see these health bars. This is my opinion. So I wanted to show the players the health bars for all tokens, because of course this is one thing I say for one token and not for all tokens. I have to set this for all tokens. which is lots of work if I have hundreds of tokens. And as I said, I want to have a different style of health bar because they are overlapping with the token. And what do I want? Usually I am choosing to have bottom overlapping and compact. Compact means the text overlay is gone, therefore the health bar is thin instead of these heavy things, thick things. And bottom overlapping is also good because it just overlaps with the token image, but just because the health bar is so thin, it doesn't, you don't lose so much of the image. And if you have all the tokens set up in this way, you can see that there's no obstruction anyway. You can have all of them. You can always see the health bars of all the tokens. So that would be the situation I would like to have. And how can I accomplish it? So it's possible because then I go to the page from my game. I go here to settings, game settings. And here, of course, you can set up many things, but I need the game default settings part, where you can set up page defaults, how big should a map be if I create one new, and the like. But for our purpose, we only have to use the token defaults. So what did we want to change? We wanted to change the bar location to bottom overlapping. We wanted to change the bar style to compact. And we wanted to let the players see the first bar, the health bar, which was the first. You can see this is to show the health bar to the players. And now I have to commit. I let everything as it is. I have to commit these changes, saving defaults. And now we have something I would say is a little glitch in Roll20, because now the page jumps to the default sheet settings, and I have to also commit these changes, despite the fact that I didn't change anything, because what I want to show you now wouldn't work if I didn't change it. So now everything should be set up correctly. We can go again here, and you can say here compact, bottom overlapping, players can see. Now we go back to the game. We do a reload of the game because the game wouldn't notice that we changed the defaults in the background. And nothing changed because we just changed the defaults, and the appearance of the actual tokens didn't change, of course. But we can do this. We go here to the cogwheel, and now appears this button, apply default settings, because the game noticed there are changes in the default settings. Click this. We get this dialog where we can choose which changes to apply. We don't mind any other changes. We just wanted to change the bar location to bottom overlapping. We wanted to change the bar style to this one. And we want to change the show height bar 1 to players. The permissions. You can also choose for which token layers, for map and background layer, for objects and token layers, or for the GM layer. The default is objects and maps. Where to apply, but we can leave it because all tokens are on the object layers. That doesn't bother us. So we just take these three things and apply them to all tokens on these layers. Apply settings. Then we see here this progression bar. And now it's done. We can, of course, do it again just here. No? So now we see all tokens have the bar location bottom overlapping. and it's of course the compact bar, and we can look, the players can see it. Oh, and that's what we wanted. Fine. So if you have a game, all tokens are in the game, you can do it this way by setting up the defaults in the background and then apply the token thing. But now some other things um, come into play. Probably you will have in your game some random encounters and you create new maps and you want to have tokens on your maps. Then you have, of course, here your journal with your NPCs, and then you say, okay, I have a new map. I want to set up a random encounter with goblins, and I just drag these goblin tokens onto my map. Nothing problematic. Oh, now it looks like as it was before, because this goblin character was added before we changed the defaults for the tokens, and within all these characters is something, it's called the default token for the character, or for the NPC in this case. The default token doesn't change if you change the defaults. This not only sounds weird in my eyes, it would be very, very, very helpful to have it differently, to change also the default tokens according to this, because if you have a purchased module, you have now here maybe hundreds of characters, and all default tokens are set up incorrectly as you don't want them. Of course, you can handle this as a workaround by now you have added the tokens again. For the org is, of course, it's the same problem, and go back here and say apply default settings and do it for them too. But that's not very helpful, I think. So this is a problem in Roll20, that if you change the defaults for the default tokens within the character sheets didn't change. If you add new characters to the game, maybe let's have a bugbear too in the game, and remember we changed the defaults for tokens. Now we add a bugbear to the game, which creates a new character sheet. Not only the token which pops here in the map is correctly set up, even the permissions you can see, but also the default here in the journal. So I can drag bugbears onto it. So the default token for the character sheets added to the game after changing the defaults are correct, but not these ones. If you have dozens or hundreds of these things, it's very, very awkward, but you can change the default token, of course. You can say, okay, I go here to this goblin page, say edit. Then I have here this default token, and I just remove it. And I have here, of course, tokens set up as I wanted them, because I applied the changes. So I just have to select this token and say for default token, select token, and from now on goblins are set up correctly, as you see. But I have to do it for all. So for the orc it's not okay. I have also here to say token, default token. I'm looking for orc which has the correct setting here, and now my tokens are set up. But I would really like to have Roll20 change this behavior so that the default tokens are also set up, because, as I said, if you purchase the game, it always comes. Never mind what you do to the game settings. If you add a module to the game, it always comes with these default tokens set up as the Roll20 default, and you always will have hundreds of character sheets or dozens of character sheets and hundreds or thousands of tokens set up incorrectly. Okay, But now you know at least how to help yourself with this thing. So just change these things here true, because we have incorrect tokens. And you see now it takes a little bit more time because there are more tokens in the game. The more tokens you have, the longer it takes. So I hope this helped you a little bit, and have a nice day and have a nice game. Bye.